Welcome to Caps Off. Maybe the most embarrassing moment of the regular season, Elvis Andrus' foul ball. This fan elects to give up nachos for a $2 baseball. Nachos at the ballpark in that helmet, I have to imagine, retail for $12, $15 US. Nacho best math, my man.
Not your best punch line either.
Welcome to Caps Off, Phil Murphy, Mark Donaldson.
I suppose you've had nachos for free as part of Step Up to the Dish this year as well?
Maybe, possibly.
You've just kind of eaten them normally, not like the nacho helmet I had at the Dodgers.
No.
Yeah.
About 4,000 calories there for yourself. Mark, the regular season is in the books, 162 games down. Now, teams vie for position in the World Series, the best of the National League against the best of the American League at the end of October. Here are your contenders out of the AL.
It's time to stop saying, boy, the A's are pretty darn good. Of course they are. They won 97 games last year.
Which organization is the best in baseball in terms of symbiosis from the top down to the bottom? There's no doubt. The Rays would be that team.
The Yankees win, and they are champions of the American League East.
Certainly a lot to be proud of.
Back it goes, deep it goes, and that's some gone. And that's gone! Target field explodes!
Swing and a miss. 14 strikeouts for Verlander.
Given the staggering talent of the roster, they may have the most potential for October greatness.
So with 162 games in the books, here are your standings in the American League.
And there's a fair bit of talent in here as well. It really is the creme de la creme of the American League. The Astros finishing with the best record. They've also got the best odds to win the World Series at 2-1. The Yankees, despite all of their injury woes, still managed to finish with the second best record. The Twins, well done to them, winning their first division title since 2010. And the Rays and the Oakland Athletics will meet in the American League wildcard game on Wednesday.
And Mark, looking at the favorites in the AL, you might as well go with the division champs, the Yankees, the Astros, and the Twins.
Do you mind if I take the Astros? Because right at the beginning of the season, we were asked for the team that we thought would do well this season. Now, I'm not going to pat myself on the back because most people would have picked what we picked. You had the Dodgers from the other division. I picked the Houston Astros. Now, they added to their squad with Zach Greinke coming over from the Diamondbacks. You could argue he may be fourth choice. I would say he's probably third choice in the batting order or the pitching order, of course, behind Verlander and Garrett Cole. I just think their strength in depth for me. I certainly think they'll get to one stage before World Series. Would it be Astros against the Yankees? What do you think about the Yankees and the Twins?
Well, the Astros are a team that won the World Series 2 years ago. They hit well for average. The Yankees and the Twins both hit well for power. Two of the most prolific home run seasons in Major League history. Now, the Yankees have won 27 World Series titles. They won the AL East comfortably. And this is a team that wasn't at full strength all year. Now, some of that depth is coming back. They have some options everywhere in the playoffs, but a lot of pressure on them. There's no pressure on the Twins. This isn't a team that we really expected to contend. They go, they win the AL Central, and they can hit it out of the park nearly at will.
However, which team is best equipped to deal with injuries? I would argue the Astros, because I think their strength and depth, especially in the pitching department, is better. It remains to be seen, but what an ending to the season it's going to be.
He's the best player in the game. He has been for a long time.
He's Mickey Mantle for this generation.
Big fly for Mike Trout. That ball is out of here.
A majestic drive.
Get up, get out of here. The MVP does it again.
It's Bellinger's turn.
There's always things you can improve on. I see that people are saying I need to improve on this, I need to improve on that. You know, it's great. You know, you take it to your heart and you take it to your mind that you want to prove them people wrong and you want to do it.
Gomez better hurry. Got him!
Well, it's been some season, especially for hitting and for home runs as well. But we're going to have a look now at the both NL and AL MVP race. He might be out for the season. It's going to be hard for anybody to catch Mike Trout in the American League Most Valuable Player.
He has finished first or second in AL MVP voting 6 of the last 7 seasons. Go ahead and make it 7 for 8. The runaway favorite for AL MVP, that man from Southern California. How about this guy from Southern California, the Dodgers star, Cody Bellinger, just 24 years old?
Yeah. Now, I think he's probably now the favourite after Christian Yelich went down. What about Anthony Rendon, or am I just looking for those that might have a chance? He's the favourite now.
I think it's reaching for those who might have a chance. The Dodgers had an MVP in Clayton Kershaw back in 2014. They haven't had a position player win National League Most Valuable Player since Kirk Gibson in 1988. The Dodgers
You weren't even born.
also won the World... I was born back then. The Dodgers won the World Series, though, that year, looking to make another run at a World Series title in 2019, potentially, probably, with an NL MVP.
Here's your two favourites for the MVP race. What about the Major League Baseball Rookie of the Year? Now, I loved watching Fernando Tatis at the Padres. Now, unfortunately, he's out for the season, so he's not going to win it. These are two we think... There's a shock that your boy Polar Bear, Pete Alonso's in it, but Yordan Alvarez has done all right as well.
Yes, he has. And in the history of the Astros franchise, which dates back to the early 60s, only Carlos Correa in 2015 has ever won it before as an Astro, as the Rookie of the Year. Yordan Alvarez won't even play in 100 games when all's said and done in the regular season. Home run numbers, though, you would look at it, looked like he played the full year. That guy's got serious power. Not quite the power, though, of Pete Alonso.
Pete's going to win it, isn't he?
He should. I mean, the Mets franchise has been around since 1962, and before this season, the record for single-season home runs, 41. He blew past that with a month to go. Best power hitter by a mile for the Mets. Best power hitter, maybe even in the National League, and certainly the best rookie in the NL with Tatis done for the year.
I mean, can you believe what you're seeing right now? Wrap your head around this for a second. In May, nobody thought this.
The Brewers are going to the playoffs in back-to-back seasons.
Ronald Acuna Jr., welcome to the 30-30 club. Number 200 for Freddie Freeman. With a drive, and let's go home. Get into Big Mac Land. It's over. Holy smokes, what a play.
It is going, gone.
We're watching something special. Cody Bellinger, you are ridiculous. At the end, would you believe it?
So the Astros, the Twins, and the Yankees were our three from the American League that we think may be around at the end of the season. What about the National League? There's got to be one. That's the Dodgers. Before you speak about them, what about the Braves and how they can reach the playoffs but then kind of struggle?
This is a team that won 14 straight division titles throughout the 90s and early part of the 2000s. Only had one World Series to come away with it. Mark, this is the senior circuit, the National League, since 1876. Were you born back then?
Very funny.
So the Dodgers are the class of the bunch. They're the best home team, maybe in all of baseball, certainly the best home team in the National League. You have to go through Los Angeles to get to the World Series. The Braves may be the only team outfitted to do it, but if the Braves are at their best and the Dodgers are at their best, the Dodgers are clearly the class of those two.
You say you have to go through Los Angeles to do it. Going through Los Angeles, it's the old, how long does it take to get there? Well, I can tell you how far it is. I can't tell you how long it's going to take. So whoever ends up going through Los Angeles, which is likely because the Dodgers are going to be there, just give yourself a little bit extra travel time.
And LA has represented the National League in the last 2 World Series. They haven't won it since the late 80s, so reason for belief in Dodger blue again. But we talked about the Braves coming up year in, year out, just a bit short throughout the 90s. Might that be the talk and the angle for the Dodgers today? They have to get that last step, that World Series title, to prove it. But first, they have to get there, and they have to get through the Braves.
But just remember as well, momentum is a huge thing in all of sports. So just because the Dodgers have looked good and the Yankees and the Astros in the American League, there could be a team that maybe comes through the wild card or anything else that has the momentum. And sport provides us with another upset.
Well, I've already mentioned that there's plenty talent in the American League, but how about that for some talent as well in the National League? Let's start with the Dodgers. They're available at 3-1 to win the World Series. They were the only team in the National League to win over 100 games. Ronald Acuna Jr. and the Braves finished with the second best record, posting 97 victories en route to winning the NL East. Now, the Nationals may have the third best record. However, it's the Cardinals who are not going to be playing in the playoff. It's Nationals against Brewers in the wild card.
Time for our predictions. I need a World Series winner from you, Phil Murphy, please.
I'm going to go with the Dodgers. They've been to the last 2 fall classics and fewer roadblocks than any of these teams, the favorites in the American League.
You look evil with that. You look like you're about to do some damage. I'm going to go for the Astros. Quite simply, I think they've got the best team, and I think they will win the World Series.
World Series matchup from a couple of years ago.
It
They
is
have to have a
indeed.
friendly wager. I don't know about you. I'm feeling pretty good about my pick.
I'm feeling
week
better
one.
about mine.
You are?
Yeah.
Despite all the Astros have to get through just in the American League alone to reach the World Series.
And that's because they're the best team in baseball, I think.
The record doesn't say that.
Doesn't matter. How many times in all sports do you think Liverpool and Spurs were the two best teams in the Champions League last year?
No, but City were a better team, and over the course of 38 games, it showed.
Exactly. But you can always City are the favourites this year for the Champions League because arguably they have the best squad. It doesn't necessarily mean because you've got the best squad that you're going to get to the World Series. The Astros have got the deepest squad.
You have to think about route, and the Dodgers are the best home team in the National League, maybe the best home team in all of baseball, and the National League challengers have to go through LA to get there. All right. I like the Dodgers at least out of the NL. You like the Astros out of the AL. Who are the Astros playing in the World Series, Mark?
The Braves, because you said the Dodgers, and I'm not agreeing with you.
That's it?
Well, look, I have to go for an upset because it's an obvious one.
That's true.
You talk about us at the start of the season saying, who do you like? Okay, Houston were single digits, okay? The Dodgers were single digits. And it's no surprise that they're both in the playoffs. However, I still think there's a sting in the tail here. I think the Braves get to the World Series, but I don't think they're good enough, and the Astros win it 4-2.
See, I'm going to go with the favorites. The Astros pitching staff, both at the front end, their starters and the relievers, I think are enough to get through the AL despite all the hitting power of the Yankees and the Twins. I like the Dodgers to win. I assume you like the Astros over the Braves still?
4-2.
4-2. All right, I'm going to say party on in Los Angeles, and I'll also say enjoy the playoffs. He's Mark Donaldson. I'm Phil Murphy. This has been Caps Off.